Okay, can you hear me though? Can you hear me? How's the sound? Is it all right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I've been smoking for 20 years. So smoking for 20 plus 20 years, so I have big lungs. And when I went to the doctor, they think or they always ask me, do I like run like marathons because I have very strong lungs and a very powerful heart. So, I don't know, genetics. Let's kick this off. Guys, what's going on? It's Friday. Thank God that it's Friday, right? So, you know what time it is. That means that we're going to be doing our live stream where I'm going to try to guide you on how I'm making the money that I'm making. And hopefully, I can curve you away from making the same dumbass mistakes that I make, right? And let's be honest, I make a lot of them, right? So, all of my methods are done from trial and error. I did not go to school for trading. I did not have any kind of background like that, but I did pick up a book or two just to kind of read. I watched videos. I found guys kind of like how I'm doing now and started to do the same. So I tried to share real experience, not just some hypothetical bullshit that a lot of people like to give you, right? So a lot of theories. So the mistakes that I make are real. I use my real account, and I don't even open up the graphs until it's time to actually speak with you, just because I try to give you that authentic experience, right? Okay, so with that being said, if you've been watching, then you know how I operate at this point, right? So I start showing by the crypto bubbles what's going on, take a quick look just to kind of have an idea. So let me switch you over to my screen, and there we go. All right, market cap for the day. The week sucks, the month sucks, and even overall, the year pretty much sucks ass too. So We're not going to worry ourselves with the year too much, but more of the daily since that's what we're doing, right? So Ethereum barely moved at 1.6, Bitcoin is up by 2.5, XRP 1.1, Solana's up by 5.6, which is pretty good. Cardano, nothing. Pretty much that's it. So it's kind of not so great, right? Not a big deal. I don't really trade too much of crypto right now, anyways, just because it's not bringing me the cash. I've been losing more money right now on crypto than I have been on the euro US dollar, which is pretty like we're bringing in some bang for the dollar, right? So that's why I kind of keep staying to it. Either way, the payoff rate is 92%, which is good. So we get a little bit higher reward for our risk. So right now, $193,432.22 is sitting in my real account. Now, last Wednesday, uh, yeah, Wednesday, I believe I started at 186,000. So we made 6,000. And again, once more, if you've watched me before, then you understand that my daily goal is a grand, meaning 3 grand in a week, 12 grand in a month. Perfect, right? You can honestly sustain off that and barely work. Most I know in the US don't even make that. So pretty good money, right? So that's the goal. However, I do get lucky sometimes and I make a lot more than that. Sometimes 5 grand, sometimes 10, even 20,000 I've made, 30,000 in a single trading period. So that's just how it's been working, but I don't aim for that specifically because when you do that, the emotions kind of get twisted, right? So we don't want that. So I'm going to cancel out bubbles. I have a bunch of marks from last time, and you can kind of see that they're completely irrelevant because the price was way lower. Yeah. And they're just going to be irrelevant and piss me off because I'm going to make some mistakes. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame to get an overall view. Some consolidation moving up. Ooh, good point. If we break above this right here, we're going to have a complete change of market structure, right? So it's going to be interesting there. But since we're going to go to the 10-minute, some consolidation looks like it's going down in the 10 minutes. So it could be changing up soon. 15-minute short. Going down. 30. So where's our direction? Very hard to call this one. So probably going to go on the bearish side of things. Okay. So let's go ahead and, yeah, consolidation. It was climbing up, went down, down. Lower highs, higher lows. Iffy. Let's try it. Let's try it. If not, we'll choose a different pair to trade on, right? So let's aim for it about right here on the 5 minute. Here is going to be a moment. We're just going to sit on that one. Honestly, about right here too. Park this one down about right there. Yeah. And I need one more because I need something a little bit more relevant as far as my turns. Now, if I need to explain what kind of strategy that I'm using in between the gaps between the support and the resistance level. It just works for me really good. I've made a lot of mistakes there too with it, but it just kind of works really good for pocket option, for me anyways, in a 1 minute time frame. Just by that way, I'm not using a shit ton of different. Um, forgot my words. Indicators. Yeah, so a bunch of indicators, the RSI, all of that's great, especially when you're doing more dialed in trades, that kind of thing. But I find it if you're doing swing trading and you're in a fast and in a hurry, trying to look at all these indicators and go through, it's just more confusing and it will kind of screw you up a little bit. So I stay away from them a little bit. Now, if you're doing like weekly trading, you're trying to get like pinpoint like on one and you're like enter a trade on Friday, but you're planning on leaving it by no, I'm sorry, Monday, but you're trying to leave it by Friday, those indicators you have time to really work it out, or month-long trades, kind of like really longer term tradings, perfect, right? Especially like super when you're super going in long and you're trying to get it, fantastic. But if you're swing trading and you're kind of catching that curve either way, it's just going to screw you up. So I like to kind of focus on candles and support and resistance, that kind of thing. Okay, yeah. So here we are on the 5 minute. Going down. There we go. Kind of going back up. In between this gap on the 5 minute, let's dial in on our 1 minute. That's where I like to. Wait, what? Ooh, iffy. All right, so with what just I'm looking at here, it's kind of below, bouncing, rechecking, rechecking. Very dangerous. Very, 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 very dangerous because doing when it's doing this, it shows me a little instability. So we're gonna wait and see what this 1 minute time frame is doing on the support. Is it gonna bounce off of this and start going down? How many candles? 2 minutes and 30 is a lot. That's another little trick that I've kind of picked up on, is that if you have huge candles in between here too, going on a longer countdown timer can screw you up. And wait and see. So we have like three, so about halfway of that is what I want. All right. And let's see how it's going to play out for us. Again, the grand is our profit, is what we're aiming to take. I'm not feeling very risky. It's Friday. I want to have a relaxing weekend. I don't want that shit sitting in my head as I'm trying to enjoy my weekend, right? So we'll take it easy. A couple of smaller positions, right? And we'll play it that way. Like I said, I'm not trying to make 20 grand today. It's not important. I've already made a huge amount of money throughout the week, anyways. So, and to be completely honest, if we're talking about the weekly, I made the weekly just on Wednesday. So I made it like 3 times over. So we're gonna play it a little bit here, nice and slow and easy and relaxing, kind of boring a little bit probably, but like I said, I want to have an easier day, kind of slower on the time frame as far as the live stream goes. We'll pick up more, especially as we get more of you guys joining us. We'll make it longer, or if you have questions that I need to explain, I'll make it longer than two. You can message me directly on Telegram. And don't sit on your ass if you're watching now. Just go ahead and support the channel if you like it. And let's see if we're right about that time, which I think we are. 13 seconds. Yep. Boom. 2, 1, and yep. $480. If you enter a trade right here, right now, especially where I have this purple line, it can be not so good. And also we have the wick right here on the previous candle showing us that the price is pushing up. So yeah. See, there you go. You're watching it now. Let's not do it like 4 minutes here. Let's take a look for a second, right? So you have lower highs, but now you have the high, like it's breaking that pattern a little bit, right? Because of this little consolidation. So we need to see what the next couple of minutes is going to do here. 28 seconds. Mm-hmm. We're showing a wick right now, so don't count these wicks until after the candle closes. All right. So we have a large wick here. Now, what you're seeing from this is the excitement coming in, pushing in, but I won't be surprised if it continues to get pushed down. Uh, Probably should have actually put in a longer time frame, but we'll see. I was gonna roll it over, but it won't let me. Shit. There we go again with that damn thing. Okay, so you see how it changed immediately, and then like this huge double up right here. That's where it clicked. So watch out for that. God, did not want to do that. That pisses me off. Man. All right. All right. That completely irks my ass. That's the biggest complaint that I have about this whole thing sitting in pocket options. Like, really, if you're not careful, it will completely screw you up, especially if you're trying to like dial it in very fast. Ugh, it screwed me. All right. Whatever. I'm not gonna let it piss me off. So while I'm sitting here waiting for this to close, and boom, there we go. Made some profit. So the whole idea behind what I'm doing here, right? If you're coming up to close to the top, that's when you want to enter your lower position. As you're getting to the middle, you can kind of like what I did here. It is risky, right? So if you double up, like it needs to be somewhat close to the same one. That should really always be a same rule. If you double up at the same area, right? Because it's going to use the same time frame. If you're down here and the time frame's counting down, but you get the excitement pushing up, it can close out that one trade and you get screwed. So be leery of that. It's just like a piece of advice that I have for you. Ooh, is it? Ooh, I want to see how this is going to close. So do it that way. However, if you think, like, for example, it's counting down, and like, for example, if it starts kind of consolidating a little bit, I think it's going to go up, and I lower my countdown timer to like 1 minute or 1.5, I can kind of ride that rise up if I'm expecting it to do so, right? Especially if it's coming off a support line, I could ride that up just a little bit on a short, long, on a short long trade, if you know what I'm trying to say, like a very short time frame. So like how it's doing now, right? It will probably ride up for a little bit and then go back down. So if I did this for like 45 seconds or a minute and a half, I could probably make some cash a little bit, right? So you can do it that way, and have that way you're kind of playing both fields. So, but the whole idea, if the closer you can get up to the support level, for example, if you're going long, going short on the trade, the higher up you are closer to the support level and you enter the short trade, it comes down and comes back up, but you have some time and you're pretty confident it's going to go back down, you can double up on that and you have that chance to kind of go down and cover up that gap, which gives you that comfortable space. So, and it's freezing again. Okay. Yeah, you see how I got close up here? That's the risk. So if it's up here, I don't have to worry about it so much. But it gives me an opportunity to enter another short trade. And why I'm doing that is because I see lower lows and lower highs, right? So this is going to give me another moment. Just got to show that's coming up close. It will continue to go down. I hope. The downside of it is that I could lose it. But another positive is that I could roll it over. It's more time too. So that means if like I enter a double here and I can roll it over, that just gonna it's gonna give me that double time for it to go back down below as well. And technically, this will put us above our profit for 1,000. But you see how I did that now and that huge dive down? That's pretty cool. So, and I'm using like what 250 bucks now. These doubled up. This one kind of screwed me over a little bit, uh, as you've seen. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna take 100 bucks. I count down to like 1 minute. Because if I see it kind of doing this, I'm gonna ride it up, and I'll show you what I made. It's not closer here, but I just think it's gonna go up a little bit, just a taste. This is a good example of having like a bigger time countdown timer on my short position and then a much lower time on my long position and how I can play both sides of that. And I'm also risking a lot less money too to do it. 14 seconds. Okay, we'll lose it. Probably not because that excitement's going to push it. Nope. Nope. Okay. But you get the idea, right? So I just wanted to show you how it's going to pump up a little bit. So probably if I was going to do that again, it would be on a little bit longer of a time frame. And 100 bucks on this kind of portfolio cash, right, is nothing. The smart thing would have done is I could have like doubled up, but I'm going along with the trend. So staying with the trend is more safe too. And just kind of like waiting it out. That's honestly like the conservative way to do it. But if you're like high risk, you want to take high risk, then doing playing both sides of it is pretty cool too. But here, when you have like two here, you can see this like lower lows and lower highs. So that's pretty good indicator, especially you get just a little bit retracement. It continues to continue with that pattern. Then that gives me the confidence to continue trading in short positions. The only thing that's iffy now is this wick. Price did get pushed, but the buyers are jumping in. But we just got a few seconds on our like 10 seconds, so we're good. We're golden. Cha-ching. And just like that, remade our goal for the day. A grand. And one more trade, and I'll call it quits. Like I said, at 4 minutes here, and double up on that. Also risky because I'm in between. But if you're looking at how many candles there are, like if you just half this up a little bit, like it has a good chance of going down within like four candles, um, even coming up and then coming back down like how we did before. So it has a good chance of continuing that. Also, this candle closed still below the previous high on this wick, so that kind of gives me a good plus. Also, if it comes up higher and it comes down lower too, it gives me space. So that's kind of there. Roll it over. And I'll roll this one over too. Why not? Because here, yeah, I want to boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Mm, very good. Now, I'm not going to put any more below here, but what I am going to do if it comes up just around the same area, I will put it up there too. Because I'm more confident within 7 minutes because I put these up here than what these are. So this allowed me to make a bigger amount, double up on it with a higher time frame as well because I did roll it over. So it gives me that possibility. Very good. Very, very, very good. So even if it comes up and closes below here, now I have enough money that will cover it up and I'll still be in profit for these trades, even if I lose this 1,000. So it'll be like 2,800. Yeah. All right. It's the waiting game. Where's that 250 at? Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, the 250 that was coming off here. Okay, whatever. This is going to put us way above our goal for the day. All right. And we're just going to let it count down. And it's the waiting game. This is the same. This is what I'm talking about as far as it being boring. Of course, doing live streams, that kind of thing, can not be so interesting. But the real side of it, what you're watching, is really just the waiting. So once you just enter a couple of trades, you're going to be waiting. Now on the live stream, I'm trying to like be a little risky. I'm trying to like play around a little bit, just to make it more interesting. You're not just sitting here watching me sit and speaking about the same things over and over, right? So it's kind of what it is, but uh, it's just the waiting side of it. 'Fuck. And that was at 250 closed out. Oh, that's not good. Hopefully it'll get pushed down in the next minute. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 40 seconds. Come on, go down, damn it. And this is the prime example of why these above or near the support level is so crucial. It's like why these are always risky because you're literally watching the risk right now. 30 seconds down, 23 seconds. And once this count down, this the excitement can, if it's close, it can push it above. So this is like the iffy moments. Yep, yep, yep. These will $1,900, and we're 2 grand in profit. Three, two, one. We lost the five. Okay, 2 grand, 2.5 grand in profit. So remember that. So above here or around the top, if you're going short, perfect. You have space to like work on it as long as you're going along with the grill. But if you look at the graph as a whole, you see how it's doing this like right here. Very, very unstable, unstable. And because like remember, we're trading between the two green here and here. This is on the upper side of it, so it's very, very risky. Very risky. Now, this line shows why this purple line is to show right here, and it touches here and here, right? So it respects this line, so that we're showing that if it gets closer to here, it's going to start to reverse up, right? So now I know, like, okay, don't put in a short position here to go down, but I can, and it respects this line, so that means I can put in a short position here and it write it down. But the countdown timer is the big thing to kind of dial in. So that's kind of where it is. But if you look at it in like a longer trade, this is very risky to even enter a trade. So, but I did so with catching the swing, right? The swing's down. So, and when we're halfway in, yeah, when we're halfway in, like right here, super dangerous. But that's why when it came up to the top, I entered those two positions to cover the two positions in the middle because I kind of already knew that they were going to get stopped out. So that's okay because the first one was a mistake. Do you remember? So I was trying to roll it over, um, to be a longer time, and it doubled up on me. It happens. So, and that's when it came up here. I understood, okay, that's my opportunity to double up here, because by that time counts down, which was like 5 minutes, 6 minutes at the time, it would close. And that's where that position came from. So, a little bit of an explanation to why that is. But if it would have kept going down, of course, it didn't have that big push up, then we would have made a lot more. But at the same time, literally 2 grand is a lot better than 1,000, which was the goal, right? So that's how we manage. So, like I said, this is a very iffy moment. So be careful trading on any kind of formation that's taking place like this. So if you're watching and you're going to kind of continue trading right now, then just be very, very careful. And I can tell you that you have another line right here, honestly. That's pretty strong because you have four candles sticking up right here, and I bet, yep, I knew it. I bet that it's going to respect the line up here, so that means that if it breaks above this resistance right here, that you only have a small gap for it to come up and touch. Now these were based on the 5 minute line, but also you can count the 1 minute. They're just not very powerful, but I would expect it to get stopped just a little bit. So keep that in mind. So if you're up here, this is your big window. And since the overall trading trend is going south, um, the best thing that you could do, the safest thing that you could do, is put in short positions at the very top, the closest as you can here, especially when you have candles and the wick giving you confirmation that it's going to go down. Put them there to let it go down. Not too long on your countdown timer. You just kind of got to feel it. There's really no exact answer to give you, but you just need to feel it. It's part of like patience, it's part of like the experience, it's part of losing, it's understanding what the day's doing, how the candles are doing. It's all of that together. So 1 minute, 3 minutes, like you just kind of got to dial it in. Now you could probably do 6, 7 minutes like I was doing from the top, just because you can see how many candles are actually um, in between the two lines, right? So if you can see like two or three before it reaches from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom, if it's only like two, you have like a minute, minute and a half, right? Like that's it. But if you have like five or six, then you can probably put in like 4 or 5, right? As far as to go down. So just below that number of candles. So that's kind of like how this strategy that I formulated works in a way. And you see, it works for me. I'm making money with it. It's not like super technical. It's not like anything that you have to like beat your head around. It's pretty basic stuff, and that's like where it works. So again, if you're going through and you're like making all of that shit complicated and everything else, you can get burned out, you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna say, you know what, screw it, I give up. Right? So don't do that. You can make it a lot more simple. We have it called KISS, the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Right? So for stupid people, simple, and you're keeping it that way. So the more the more complicated you make it, the more headache you're gonna have later on. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today. You've watched it, so from 193 to 195, one day, 5 grand Wednesday, 6 grand on Monday, something like that. So literally almost like 15 grand throughout the week, just like that. That's what our monthly goal was. So we did really, really good. Same time on Monday. So don't miss it. Support our channels, right? Join our Telegram group as well. If you have any questions, message me. Don't be shy. The only stupid question you can ask is, well, the question you don't ask. So be sure to ask me, and I will try to answer you as quickly as possible. And I will try to give you the best answer possible to your question if I can answer it. So don't be shy. See you again on Monday at 1 o'clock. Enjoy your weekend. And until then, happy trading.